Good afternoon, everyone. Hey guys, this is Bruce Marshall from Simpler Trading with the nightly market update for Wednesday, June the 2nd. I can't believe it's June already. We're halfway through the year, and so far it's been a kind of a crazy year. We're coming into the summer doldrums, and things seem to be really grinding down. We're doing a lot of chopping here lately. I'm talking about some levels here in just a second. But first, let's talk about kind of the day of the week. Today is, of course, Wednesday. This Friday we have payrolls. Tomorrow we have ADP numbers, but Friday we have payrolls, and that will be a big that normally it's kind of hit or miss whether it's going to be a big deal or not. I think this time is going to be a bigger deal, just because we're coming out of the pandemic and we're seeing if economy's getting them back on track, and that has a lot to do with the employment, and of course we'll see if it's picking up or slowing down, that kind of thing, on Friday. So be sure and watch that, and we'll get a preliminary indication tomorrow off the ADP numbers, and we also have I believe 3 different Fed speakers tomorrow, and then on Friday morning I saw at 7 a.m. I was looking at the calendar, and apparently, I don't know why, but apparently Powell is speaking on climate change. I don't know what that's got to do with the Fed, but anyway, and that can maybe move some things around on Friday too, but we shall see. Next couple of days, maybe not next couple of days, but next week or so, we probably should get a little bit more clear indication of kind of which way we're going, and let me show you why that's important. Here, this is today on the ES, and this is where we opened and kind of flushed down, gapped up and up and up and up, and I thought we were kind of off and on our way here. You see this stair step pattern. It's exactly what you want to see for higher highs, and the all-time high up here is 4238. That's SPX actually, but anyway, we're right there. And I thought we'd come up here. Maybe we get there and maybe take that out. We're certainly within reach and expected move, but instead we come down here. We've got a skyline here. We kind of hit there, bounce. Okay, well maybe we kind of come up here. Nope, come down, take it out, and then we just chop, and then we just rip into the close. Very, very strange moves going on in the market, and I'm looking at charts. I'm looking down 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 120-minute charts, and I'm just getting no real read on the market at all. So let's back this thing out and look in a little bit longer time frame. So here's a 5-day chart, and as you can see, we've been from 41.77 to 42.30, so it's a wide range. It's only 5 days, and pretty wide range here with some big, look at these gaps. And then it just melts down, and then we have a huge gap, and then we melt down, and big gap, and we melt down. Hard to read this market and hard to trade. You've got to be on your toes and nimble, and and working in tighter time frames and tighter stops and all that kind of stuff. And it's been working okay, but it's not fun trading this kind of whippy market. Okay, so down here is the 10-day chart and we're still in the ES. 4055 up to 4230, so we've had close to 200-point run right there. That's a big move in 10 days, and for the last week or so, we've really just been kind of chopping here, just chop back and forth. And we had a holiday week last week with Memorial Day here, and that going into that can lead to some chop, but coming out we're still chopping. And see here, 4230. That we almost get back to the all-time high there. And let's go one more time frame here to a 20-day chart, and again you can see we went from 4238 all the way down here, and now we've come almost all the way back up. So again, we're all over the place, and it just makes it tougher to kind of figure out. So let me tell you what I'm looking at here on a 1-year time frame. This is the ES. Same thing for the S&P. And what Sorry, let me get back to 1 year. Make a little more sense. What I'm looking at here, you see this kind of chop right around this all-time high. We're right there. So from here, do we break out and go higher and continue this momentum? And I don't know. Or do we break and fall lower? There's a fire line at 4,100, or even break down here. I've talked to some other professional traders that think we're going down here, somewhere down here. I don't know. It's a really, really tough call here at this point. We're so close. I felt like we would take this out. And the thing about it too, this chart looks totally fine, totally intact. There's nothing wrong or scary or spooky with this chart. Now you could make a case for it, like here or here, that we're going to break and go lower. Notice we hit that snow line twice. Here, hit the tree line. Are we going to come back down here and then go? I mean, I really don't know. It's just really, really tough to tell. Of course, if I knew, of course I would tell you guys, but also I would be on on my private jet going somewhere. But we got to be careful here. I've got a handful of trades on. I've got some S&P trades. I'm kind of covering both bases, upper and lower, just in case we go higher or in case we go lower. I think we might get some indication from payrolls going into Friday, and then the tone of how that sets the market. And we're very close to going higher. So for me, I'm going to continue to assume that this thing keeps going higher. If it breaks, it'll be on news, which will be it could be anything: inflation, coronavirus, pandemic, whatever, payrolls. It could be anything. So just be on your toes, and that's we're always like that, but we're at a heightened state right now. So anytime we get up around an all-time high, you have the chance of failing. And again, we're right there. So play it to the upside, understanding that we could be back down here in an instant. Again, I don't really see this happening without some kind of much bigger catalyst. But I'm going to throw this out there. You guys know that when they do, at some point, they will have to raise interest rates. Inflation will come in or whatever. They'll raise interest rate. That is, that's that creaking sound when all the ice is cracking all at once, and look out below when that happens, right? But I don't think that's coming for a while, so we don't have to worry about that yet, but just put it in the back of your mind. So I don't really have any other individual names. Everything seems to be running up in the same kind of pattern, up into some pretty heavy resistance. Could break through and keep going, or could pull back. So I'm going to hold off with any individual names right now, but just be careful out there and watch into Friday. It'll be very interesting to see what happens on Friday. So let's go with that and see what we get. So keep tight stops, size small or size according to the risk that's out there, and we'll see what we get. So thanks for the time, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.
Without Simpler Trading, I could not have financial independence.
This is one of the best investments I ever made in my life.
It's helping me find consistency.
It's one of the things that won me